So in 1992, I started off just as bald as the next baby. I was oh so tender-headed as a child growing up. It was always a full-blown production to get my hair done because it would hurt so much. So I started getting really light and mild relaxers at the age of like 5 or 6, and it barely had an effect on my texture, if at all. But my mom took really good care of my hair. She would always keep it in braids. When she straightened it, it was only for like a special occasion. And I remember she would always use a curling iron instead of a flat iron or a hot comb to straighten my hair. So I got my hair professionally done for the first time in middle school, and I fell in love. Like, my ends were clipped for the first time. My hair had body, it was so luscious, looked healthy. My ponytails would just be swishing back and forth like the white girls. My hair was just gone with the wind, and I couldn't have been happier. Like, I learned how to wrap my hair and everything. Over time, I noticed that my hair was getting quote unquote heat trained and was becoming easier to straighten, which I thought was a great thing. But little did I know, not so much. So high school was pretty much the beginning to the end. I got this revolutionary idea to start highlighting my hair. Of course, I got it professionally done, but it was really thinning out my hair with all the color and the relaxers. So I just stopped getting relaxers altogether. But I kept getting color, and my ponytails were pathetic. My edges were thinning. My hair overall was just thinning. The density was not there. Like, it was so hard to achieve volume, but I kept getting color, and I never had any crazy colors. My coloring was always subtle, but regardless, my hair wouldn't hold a curl. My curl pattern was pretty much non-existent. And for some reason, like, I just didn't think I needed to condition my hair. So I would always shampoo it, blow dry it, and straighten it. The conditioner always made my hair really soft, and my hair was naturally soft. So I just didn't care for conditioner at all, which probably contributed to my hair breaking off. So I got weaves. I got a partial sew-in. And once I took that out, it broke off my hair so much. Like, my hair was so thin and lifeless. But over the summer, it grew out. Once I entered college, I literally put heat on my hair every single day, faithfully. And I kept getting color, and you can see the effects in my ends and my bangs and my edges. It was just thinning. It was so hard to achieve volume. So I just got it cut professionally, cut off all the dead ends. It was okay, but it was still really hard to achieve volume. And I just felt so basic having short, flat, lifeless hair. I would have loved to wear my hair in its natural texture back then, but I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't know how to nurse it back to health. So I just started wearing sew-ins, and I fell in love. Like, sew-ins and weaves were just heaven sent for me. However, they were really becoming a clutch, but I didn't really care. The only time I really took a break from my sew-ins was to dye my hair black, and right after that, I got another sew-in. But I did notice my hair was definitely becoming thicker, especially towards the middle. It was growing my hair out, except for the leave out, which was at the top and the sides. It was so thin, it was becoming hard to cover the tracks. So I just stopped getting sew-ins altogether. When I got my hair cut, I got it cut in layers. Of course, I got highlights. And that's when I really noticed that I kind of sort of basically had curls. Cutting off a lot of the dead ends made my curls start to pop. Plus, a lot of my friends were going natural at that time, so I started watching YouTube, discovered co-washing, which is basically washing your hair with conditioner, and it changed my life forever. I got really tired of dealing with like the curly roots and then the heat damaged ends, so I went for that big chop. I just wasn't about that transitioning life at all. But I did get it professionally done in a pixie cut, and I couldn't wait to get home to wash my hair just to see how my curls were going to turn out. And I fell in love. I absolutely loved them. I still had heat damage towards the front, so I just snipped that off myself. I absolutely loved my curls. Like, I have no idea where these bad boys came from, but I loved them. So, of course, I had to get color again. I got more highlights and a color towards the back. And before I even did the big chop, I remember people trying to convince me not to. They said I was going to look butch or look like a boy or wasn't going to be cute. And afterwards, I got so many compliments from those same people. So it was just nice to get that positive reinforcement. And I know this sounds cliche, but when doing the big chop, like you just feel so freeing and so liberated. Like this huge load is just lifted off your shoulders. And it really helps you to embrace confidence. Like it's a great feeling. So my hair started to grow out, of course, and it started growing into that awkward length where it's too long to be short but too short to be long. So I straightened it just to see how it was, and I didn't care for it, but I noticed I got heat damage towards the top because it was always getting frizzy no matter what I did, and it was really hard to detangle out of nowhere. So I just kept wearing it in its natural state. But in October, I got the fever again, and I really wanted to know how it was going to look straightened. And I absolutely loved it. Like, it had so much more body than what I had been used to in the past. And you could really see the improvements. It was full, it was moving, it was so cute. But of course, I got heat damage again. I'm impatient, so I just grabbed the scissors and did a second big chop myself. It was just as liberating as my first big chop, and thank the Lord, baby Jesus, it turned out okay. I've been heat damage free and completely natural since December 2012, and then I did my second big chop in October 2013, and now I'm just documenting my hair journey. So this was just dedicated to all the naturals, all the soon-to-be naturals, all the curly and coily heads, and for those who just needed a little hair inspiration. It's definitely not an easy journey, but it is a liberating one to just learn and love your hair.